Hi everyone, and welcome to your weekly Pick a Card Tarot readings for the week of May 9th. If you like this video, please give it a like and subscribe for more tarot readings. I'll be doing 5 card open readings, and here are the decks that I have for you. We have the Borderless Rider-Waite-Smith with Amethyst, the Universal Rider-Waite-Smith with Tiger's Eye, and the Tarot de Marseille with Red Jasper. We also have 4 different oracle cards to choose from 4 different decks, so go ahead and pick which tarot deck and which oracle card resonate with you the most. Feel free to pause this video if you need more time. As always with collective readings, take what resonates with you and leave aside what doesn't. If you want to jump straight to your reading, the timestamps are in the description below. Don't forget to check out your oracle card. And with that, let's go right to the readings. Okay, group 1, let's see what the cards have to tell you. Whoops, like that. So, we are opening with the Three of Wands reversed and the High Priestess reversed. So something about a relationship between you and your unconscious, which is not optimal for this week, but there is some healing and alchemy. Okay, so this is striking me right away as growing pains. And with this Devil card in the middle of your cross is telling me that we need to have a talk, group 1. So what is this? The cool thing is there's a lot of energy in this reading. You have 4 out of 5 cards are major arcana cards. Most of them are upright, so that's nice. But this Devil here in the middle of your cross is leaping out to me. So let me just go into this spiel, which I say every time I pull this card. So the Devil, I call the Devil the temptation card. And the thing to know about this is that the chains around these people are loose-fitting. They can walk away whenever they want. Now, what I'm getting is... The funny thing is, I'm getting a really overall optimistic vibe from this cross because of the Star and Temperance. So the funny thing is, this Temperance here is the card that precedes the Devil. I often think in major arcana cards, I often interpret them as being the lesson from the previous card and preparing you for the next card. And trump number 14 being Temperance prepares you for trump number 15, which is the Devil. So I have the feeling that this line right here is it's speaking of being prepared to walk away from something. And this might be whatever this walk away from that I'm saying. I'm speaking in very vague terms, partially out of necessity because this is a collective reading. But what I'm getting from these 3 cards here, which I'm going to focus on for a little bit, these 2 cards don't feel nearly as important for reasons I'll get to. So it's like you've done the healing and you're ready for the balance and the balancing that comes from doing the healing that needed to be done. Because one thing to know about the Star card is that she's pouring one of the jugs she's pouring into the lake, and one of the jugs she's pouring into onto the ground. And this is where I'm getting the interpretation of balance. And we also have the Temperance card here, where there's a lot of alchemy that's being appealed to, and this guy is mixing these 2 vials, pouring the liquid at an impossible angle. And one of the things that these 2 cards have in common is that they both have 1 foot on ground and 1 foot in water. And they're both kind of floating in water. Like this foot is literally like resting on the water as if it's solid ground, you know? And And what this line here is screaming at me is that it's time to walk away, to break the chains from whatever situation has given you the impression that you were bound, and I don't even think that this is news to me. Now, I just remembered. Sorry, I don't think this is news to you, and I just reminded myself of my inability to detect past from future when I do these readings. So if um, if this if this is news to you, I would take this as an invitation to focus, to really focus on getting yourself ready, because there's going to be an opportunity for you to walk away from this stone block that has kept you bound for all this time, that you've had the ability to walk away from this entire time, but the time is approaching, and there's some healing to be done. My initial bias made me interpret this as if this was behind you, but this might be ahead of you. Now, coming to these two cards, I'm seeing this as the final anxiety that can come when you're breaking an old pattern. That's what I'm like. These three reverse cards here, if we count the bottom of your deck, are telling me that it's the nerves that you get just before you take the leap. That's what I'm getting from this. So it is possible that the little voices are screaming in your head right now that you're not ready. But I would interpret all of this as a clear signal that if you hear those voices, they're wrong and that you are ready. So yeah, the it is always when you're on the threshold of a major breakthrough, it is very easy to confuse that with an absolute nervous breakdown. It is very easy to confuse being at the breaking point versus being at the breakthrough point. And this here is telling me that this is a clear breakthrough point. So I often call the Three of Wands the threshold card. He's, standing on this cliff, looking at the ships, wondering if he should go or not. The Three of Wands and Two of Wands have very similar vibes in that regard. But again, I'm getting the feeling of a threshold, and it's normal and completely acceptable to get antsy when you're at the cusp of this. Yeah, I think that if you're not ready to walk away from this, you don't have that much left. You have very little left before you are ready. I am tempted to draw a card for those of you who for who these words are ringing hollow, and I am getting the Six of Cups. Wait. So what I would tell you is there are there is healing to be found in the past. So this could be someone that has helped you before. This could be someone that has made you feel good before. But if ever whatever you're walking away from, this isn't necessarily an invitation to go back to the past. This might be the case for some of you, but what I'm getting for is if you don't think that you're ready, if you think that you still have healing and inner alchemy left to do, if these voices are screaming too loud to you, giving you the impression that you really are stuck in this situation, that the key to get yourself unstuck would be to look at what has made you happy in the past, what has made you feel free in the past. That could be a source of inspiration for you to guide you out of this. But again, this card I just pulled for people who might need that little extra push. So yeah, honestly, I don't think there's much more to say. I think that This week might be an intense one for you, Group One, but I think that if you don't think you're ready for what this week has to give you, that you will be shocked at how well you navigate it. Because I see nothing here to give me the impression that you still have much more to do, despite what your inner voices might be telling you and the doubts that this might be giving you. So yeah, I will leave you with that, honestly, Group One. So thank you very much. I will invite you to use the timestamps in the description below to jump to your Oracle card reading. All right, Group Two, let's see what the cards have to tell you for this week. There we go. All right, so we are opening with creativity. Some kind of block in creativity being related to you holding on to something too tight, maybe. Maybe what you're holding on to is the past. The Group One also got the High Priestess reverse, but sorry about that. Let me focus on you with the... Oh, okay. So this is a there's a decision that you have to make, which is leaping out to me with this Two of Wands in the middle of your cross. Let me just take a quick count here. So yeah, most of your cards are reversed, but maybe not all reversals mean the same thing. I'm almost getting the feeling this line right here is giving me the feeling that because something I say a lot about the Two of Wands is that and I read the Two of Wands and the Three of Wands in very similar ways. I just told this to Group One, but the the thing about the Two of Wands is that he has the world in his hands and he's wondering if this is enough or if there's more out there. Now, one of these staves is bolted to the castle that he's standing on, and the other one is, holding on. He's holding it. Now, what made me say this just now is that the Four of Coins is also about holding on to something. Fours in general are about stability, structure, that kind of thing. And sometimes that stability is a good thing, sometimes it's not. I'm not sure what the answer is for you, Group Two, but one thing is for sure. I have the feeling that I have the feeling that your reflex is to hold on to what you have and not go further. And I think that you are more capable than you're giving yourself credit for. I have a feeling that I've said this recently, but what's giving me that impression is the Queen of Wands here, the High Priestess here. They're both reversed, but this Page of Pentacles here is upright. Another thing I say a lot: pages are like graduated aces. This is like a new opening that has come from the process of going from the ace all the way down to the 10. So what it's like once you've reached this level, the feeling of opportunity from these new paths that have opened up to you might make you feel like you're not ready, but this page suggests to me otherwise. I'm not sure what this Six of Cups reversed has to say. Give me a second, Group Two. A phrase that just leapt out at me is "don't put too much pressure on yourself." That might be what's causing these three cards here to be reversed. So it's almost as if this uncertainty that I'm getting from these three reverse cards is a result of you putting pressure on yourself. It's difficult for me to elaborate, but what I would suggest to you, Group Two, is that in the choices that you have to make this week, because maybe I might have read too much into the symbolism that's on the card here, which is that's a potential trap of the Rider-Waite-Smith deck in general, is that you know, like the Four of Pentacles, for instance, there are multiple ways to interpret this card, but the imagery that just leaps out to your face here kind of locks you in onto holding something too tight. That's a phrase that comes up often with this card. But there are other things that this card can mean, and I might be doing this with the Two of Wands here. So whatever choices that you have to face this week, I think that if you just relax and center yourself, you might be able to tap into this Queen of Wands and High Priestess energy, which are, you know, the Queen of Wands is a very creative, bold, assertive, confident energy, and to see this card reversed tells me that you have the potential, but your ability to tap into it isn't there. And same thing for the High Priestess, which is a card of, you know, secret teachings, knowings, your relationship with your unconscious and things like that. So yeah, what might be causing this is you putting too much pressure on yourself. It's like there's something that you have been through before, some prior successes that you have felt good about, that you have some kind of unhealthy relationship with right now, because this is just a weekly reading. I don't want you to read too much into this. Now, it is possible that if you've been following this channel for a while, you've been getting this theme over and over again. I have certainly been feeling like a broken record for the last month or so, honestly. But these cards are coming up, and I'm gonna read them the way I would, you know. So the bottom line is, if if you've heard me say that you might have an unhealthy relationship with something in your past before, maybe you do want to read into it a little more, but I'm focusing on just one weekly reading right now. So it might be that something that you have done, some success in the past, needs to be reframed, which might be the key to unlocking all of this. Or it might also be that whatever this success is the reason why you're putting so much pressure on yourself, and you're holding on to something more than is justified right now. So yeah, I will. I just want you to, you know, if you were to take one thing away from this reading, is to don't panic. Just breathe deeply whenever you feel nervous. And I think that even if you choose to stay, like if my initial reading of this card was more on the nose than I'm giving myself credit for, then I don't think it's a big deal if you choose to stay, or if stay metaphorically, like whatever staying in this castle means to you, or whatever going forth and seeking something else means to you. I'm just framing it in that sense. It could represent anything, but what I'm saying is, I think if you chose to go and to seek out what you are tempted to seek out, that you have the ability to do this. You have graduated, and you have the creativity and the inner knowing to navigate this well. But I don't think, if you choose to stay, I don't think it's a big deal either. So I feel like I'm looping, so what I will leave you with, Group 2, is the parting words that don't put too much pressure on yourself. Whatever has happened before does not need to define what happens this week. And yeah, you're more capable than you may realize. And I think I'm going to leave it at that. So please use the timestamps in the description below to jump to your Oracle card reading. All right, Group 3. Let's see what we have in store for you for this week. There we go. So Ooh, new idea, Ace of Swords, and Three of Swords. So some newness and some creativity. That's nice. All in the world of thoughts. So far, 3 out of 4 cards are air. So what I'm gonna say about this right now, before even revealing the middle card, it would be really funny if the middle card just put a kibosh on everything I'm about to say, but I'm gonna say it anyway. I have the feeling that this is a really good feeling for you. I almost feel like telling you that you can do no wrong because of this stability in the material realm. Like, whatever this new opportunity means, it might not necessarily be a new idea, but you know, swords being the suit of thoughts and words, I'm very tempted to the Ace of Swords. I almost always interpret it as new idea, but I think whatever choices that you make and creativity that you apply, you have this stability that you can rely on. So this is a very enviable position to be in. Now let's hope the middle card doesn't put the kibosh on all of this. And the 5 of Coins. So I would say that whatever this change represents, it might, how can I say this? There is a possibility that navigating these choices that you make this week might make you feel alone and isolated. But I think that in order to move forward with what you want to move forward with, I would consider this to be my first way of putting it is a cost well worth paying, but I don't like that phrasing. Let me just try to rephrase that in a way that that is more palatable to me. Give me a second. Like, sometimes when you innovate, there's going to be a phase where you stand out, and you might look really stupid to people who are used to doing it the old way. But whatever this Ace of Swords represents for you, I think that it is well worth looking like a fool, because I think that it is worth exploring just for the learning experience, even if whatever this Ace of Swords is, even if this new opportunity doesn't end up playing out, I think that this is a case of you're going to succeed or you're going to learn, and that learning process is a success. So what's making me speak in those terms is the 7 of Cups at the bottom of your deck, which is about and this cup is also isolated, just like this 5 here, just like this flower here in the middle of these 2 swords. So if you want to branch out and capitalize on this, I think that this is a good opportunity for you to do it, because if all else fails, you are protected by the stability that you already have. So I would encourage you to be bold in the choices that you make this week, Group 3, because even if and this is a weekly reading, so even if you end up looking a little foolish for a couple days, or maybe for the entire week, I think that the experience that you gain by exploring this will be well worth it. I would encourage you to tap into your creativity, because that might be the key to success. Creativity and boldness, and I can't shake the feeling that you have a reliable home base to fall back on, and knowing that you have this lifeline, it is well worth taking the risk of looking like a fool for a little while. I am extremely optimistic about this. So, do I have anything else to say? I was almost about to put an end to this reading, but there might be a couple more drops that I can squeeze out of this orange. Give me a second. Nope, nothing new. So again, I would really encourage you to be bold in your exploration of whatever this Ace of Swords is. And I thank you for watching, and stay tuned for your Oracle card reading coming up right now. All right, so this should be pretty well framed like this. Oh, this is way high. Let me bring it down like that, something like that. That works. All right. So Group A, your card is Retreat. This is I Ching hexagram number 33. And the keywords are a timely departure, letting go, withdrawal, re-evaluation, retirement. Don't hesitate to walk away. So this is funny. There are some, depending on the reading that I gave you, there are wildly different ways to interpret this. I know that Group 1, the don't hesitate to walk away thing, is leaping out at me, which is why I'm calling you out specifically, Group 1A. But for the other groups, there are different interpretations of this. Like, this might be a good time to let go of things and reevaluate. That is, like, for some of you, I would invite you to focus more on letting go and reevaluating, because some of y'all, how can I say this? Give me a second. I want to, because again, I was not expecting to get this curveball, and I really want to make sure that some of you don't leave with the wrong interpretation of this card. Give me a second. Actually, I might have overreacted just now. I think that because I just looked at the three decks and remembered the three readings I just gave, and I think that for some of you, it depends what you might want to reevaluate, what you might want to let go of, what you might want to walk away from. But I think that no matter what group you're in, there are things. If you're hesitating to let go of something, I would take this card as an omen to let go of it. And if you are feeling hesitant in moving forward with something, I would take this as an invitation to reevaluate the situation, whether you choose to stay or go. So yeah, that is it. Group B, your card is the 6th house, sustainability. I fucking love this image. I don't draw this card often, and unfortunately for you, Group B, the 6th house, I'm not too familiar with it. It is one of the it's one of those houses that is a little difficult to grasp if you're learning the houses in astrology. So what I will say to you, Group B, I'm going to focus on the word sustainable to make sure that whatever you do this week, to have the long game in mind. I know that for at least 2 groups, I was re-emphasizing that, hey, this is a weekly reading. Don't read too much into this. If you pick this card, this might be a clue that this week is more pivotal than I might have been implying. And I would invite you to just make sure that you consider the long-term implications of what you do, and to make sure that the choices that you make are sustainable and things that you're able to keep up with. Yeah, and I'm going to leave the interpretation of that open to you, but don't put too much pressure on yourself, because don't put too much pressure on yourself, but make sure that the decisions that you make are decisions that you can carry out for as long as you might need to carry them out. Group C, your card is sweetness. You know what? I'm taking this as this heart-shaped lollipop here. I would take this as an invitation to focus on what makes you happy, and even the little things. Like if there's something that you like to put in your coffee that you haven't done in a while, this might be an invitation for you to do that again. And I'm using a metaphorical cup of coffee as a stand-in for any like teeny tiny small thing that you do that gives you joy, that you have walked away from. This might be an invitation to go back to that, to those tiny little things that gave you a little pleasure. You know, it could be, I'm trying to find a not food related example. I don't feel hungry, but I can't shake food from my mind right now. Just give me a second. Oh, or some music or an album that you haven't listened to in a while. Or this could also be an invitation for you to don't be too hard on yourself. Like if the guilty pleasures that you are partaking in aren't getting in the way of what you want to do, what you have to do, then take this as a hall pass to get away with doing it for this week. Because hey, you can't be all work and no play. All work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. All work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. I won't repeat that a third time. But yeah, it's okay to enjoy a little sweetness for this week. Group D, your card is submission. This is Venus in Pisces. I have drawn this card before. I forget how long ago because I've been shooting a lot of these. But the first thing that I want to mention is that this bird is in a cage, but the door is open. And I think that, you know, Pisces is a very dreamy energy, and it's okay to enjoy it. The what made me say this is because this is Venus in Pisces, and Venus is an energy of beauty, harmony, attraction, things like that. So it's okay if you want to it's okay if you want to do things and focus on things that aren't too realistic. This is a green light to be idealistic. I'm confused by the word submission in the context of the readings I just gave, so I'm going to focus on everything else. You know, the theater of it all, which is what I'm getting from the drapes that are nicely draped on this arch here. It's okay to have big dreams and to find the beauty of it in those big dreams, no matter how unrealistic they appear. And I would take this card as an okay to have those big dreams and to enjoy it and to find the beauty in it, because that might be like, no matter how unrealistic your dreams are, to just bask in that beauty for this week might be the key for you to take the action steps that you need to do in the real world to get somewhere that is better than where you're at now. Thank you so much for watching. If your reading resonated with you, please let me know in the comments below. Thanks again for watching. I hope you have a great week. I'll see you soon.